Would you date someone who's trans?
No, I would not.
Would you date someone who's black?
Maybe. I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends who it is.
Would you date someone who's fat?
Nah, probably not.
Would you date someone who's disabled?
No, probably not as well. I mean, like, depends what is the disability.
You have a stutter.
Yeah, I have a stutter, so I have to at least, I have to give them like stuttering or like a twitch or something. Like that's fine.
Now, honestly, I don't know what your answer is to those questions, but I've met a surprising number of people who would say no to all or at least some of them.
Surprising number of people? You mean people have preferences? Oh, what? You wouldn't date anyone just because? Wow!
Their argument is that it's just a preference and that you can't control who you're attracted to.
It's not an argument. That's a fact. That's a fact of what you're into. It's an argument. It's not who's arguing that? I'm telling you what my preference is. Stop arguing. Fuck off.
Let's start with trans people. Would you date a trans person? Honestly? Think about it for a second. Okay?
You already asked me this question. I said no, probably not. No, I would not. I thought about it for a second. No. Okay?
Got your answer? Well, if you said no, I'm sorry, but that's pretty discriminatory.
Go fuck yourself! Oh, that's discriminatory. That's like saying, hey, would you date someone who's a man? And I was like, no, that's discriminatory. No, I'm not into guys.
You haven't sucked a cock at me. You never know.
Yeah. Well, that's true. He just brought up, I haven't sucked a cock. Maybe it's fantastic. Maybe a trans person is the type of person. I mean, what if cock is delicious? Throw on some fucking barbecue sauce, you're set.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're a horrible person who hates trans people. There was probably a time in my life when I said I wouldn't date a trans person. But since then, I've thought critically about it and changed my mind.
But aren't you a trans person now? So wouldn't that not even matter? And why is it fine to, at one point in your life, not be down and then go, you know what, maybe I will. You don't just wake up going, you know what, fine. I'm gonna find a trans No! It's not how it works. Darling or fella, whatever, I'm not sure.
I could sit here and show you photos of conventionally attractive trans people. There are definitely trans people who you would never know are trans unless they told you, because they pass for cis. And that might convince some of you. But I think arguing that you would only like a trans person if you didn't know they were trans is a poor argument.
That's like Bailey J. Oh, you look at Bailey J, you go, damn. But she's got a cock. And that's the thing, is I'm not really into cocks. Okay, I'm not into cocks at all. I don't know why I said really. I'm not really, I mean, if it's a, full moon and like the angle of the earth, maybe I'll be down for cock. Maybe it's cock day. November 2nd, the one day you're allowed to suck a dick and it's totally, you're still straight.
I think you could be attracted to any trans person, whether they pass or not.
No, if they don't pass, I'm not down, 100%. All right, I said probably not. Now, what if I'm dating someone for a while and then like she had it all, snip, and I never knew and then I found out later? That's different, okay? I'd be pissed that she never told me. However, if they don't pass, it's not a pass. I'm not gonna be like, well, I don't wanna be mean, so it looks like I gotta fuck this person who hasn't passed quite yet. Maybe after 2 more years of hormone therapy, they'll be more passable. But no! Go fuck yourself. You know who else I wouldn't fuck? Ugly people.
I think the main concern that people have in regards to dating a trans person is that they won't have the genitals that they expect.
Oh! So me being a straight man who enjoys vagina, the vagina, I know I don't bring it up as often as I should probably. Like 90% of my sex jokes or conversations are about dicks. But I prefer vagina. Just because they might have a dick, I mean, can't be me. What? No! That's a big deal. That's like a deal breaker. I'm very passable. I'm not too shallow in certain regards. But when you have a dick, kind of past the line of my line, whatever my line is. Yeah, it's not even a line, it's just cock. It's just a fucking, you pass the cock.
Because we associate penises with men and vaginas with women, some people think they could never date a trans man with a vagina or a trans woman with a penis. But I think that people are more than their genitals. I think that you could feel attraction to someone without knowing what's between their legs.
But when I want to fuck my girlfriend, I'm expecting she has a vagina. Like, that's one thing. Yeah, you could I could be friends with anyone. I could like someone. I could think they're fantastic. But when it comes time for me, my manly needs to take my cock and put it in a vagina, if you don't have that, you don't pass. It's not like, well, Chris, you're an awesome dude. I'm not going to be fucking homophobic. Looks like,
All right, man.
All right,
I'm
well,
dropping the pants.
yeah,
Let's
all
go.
right, let's do this.
And if you were to say that you're only attracted to people with vaginas or people with penises, it really feels like you're reducing people just to their genitals. You're kind of objectifying them, but you're thinking of them more as genitals than objects. So I guess you're kind of genitalifying them? Anyway, my point is, we have implicit biases that we were raised with or that we developed over time.
It's not a bias. Me liking vaginas is not a bias. It's my preference. Just like gay people. That's like saying to a gay person, if you don't date chicks, you're discriminating against females. No, they prefer cocks, and that's totally fine. That's like their, that's their Christmas, is that I want a cock. If you don't have one, sorry.
And they can be hard to get rid of. And I think this can be especially prominent within the queer community. Gay men often pride themselves on being disgusted by vaginas, and the same goes for lesbian women with penises. It's difficult because some queer people have built their sexual identities on these repulsions, but I don't think they're innate at all. If you met someone who was extremely attractive, had a great personality, but didn't have the genitals that you wanted, you might be surprised to find that it isn't a deal breaker.
No, it's called having a friend. You could be friends with somebody. You go like, you don't have the genitals that I prefer, but we could be friends, right? That's totally fine to be friends with someone. Just because they're a nice person doesn't mean you have to fuck them or be with them or date them. Ugh, shut up.
As someone who is trans and gay, sometimes people ask me with a very accusatory tone,
So then why don't you find a vagina? What, you don't want to fuck a vagina? Stop discriminating. See how ridiculous that sounds? Ridiculous.
if I would date a girl with a penis. Because there's this stereotype that trans lesbians are just predatory cis men creeping on cis women. But the thing is, I absolutely could be attracted to a woman with a penis. I could be attracted to any woman, cis or trans. If I find you attractive, I don't care what you have down there. But we know that sexual orientations are more innate than learned. They're more nature and less nurture. Gay conversion therapy has been proven not to work. But you can unlearn your own prejudices. It just takes time and conscious effort. And
I'm not prejudiced against dicks. No, fuck. I don't want them inside of me. Is that okay? To not want a dick inside of me? For fuck's sakes.
the way that we talk about potentially dating trans people has a lot in common with the way we discuss other preferences. Saying that you're not attracted to fat people isn't innate. It's informed by a society that tells you that being thin is ideal.
No, it also has to do with my eyes and my brain and the things I think when I see. Are you trying to make us feel bad for not wanting to fuck fat people? Oh, this chick's 300 pounds. Well, I mean, she's a nice person. I should probably date her? Go fuck yourself.
Everything in the media you consume is bombarding you with messages that skinny is beautiful and fat is ugly. And
you know why the media sells a lot more when it's a skinnier person? Because more people are attracted to skinnier people. It's not like I watched TV and went, oh yeah, well, it looks like skinny chicks are in style. I should be banging them. No, it's my brain instinctually thinks this. If the media only had fat chicks, and I saw a skinny chick on the street, I would think in my head, why don't we have them on TV? They look fantastic in real life.
now, if you're not attracted to someone, you're not attracted to them. I'm not going to tell you that you have to be attracted to this fat person or that trans person or that disabled person.
Okay, but what's your fucking point then?
But the more you work at unlearning your own prejudices, the more you'll be able to see people from these groups as people rather than tired stereotypes.
It's not a prejudice. It's just a preference. It's what you're attracted to. It's what your brain. You have a dick. I'm assuming that you have a dick. When you see someone that you're attracted to, you get hard, right? Right? If it's not working, you have to fucking punch it a few times and pop a Viagra, then fucking it's not your fault. Holy shit. And maybe one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? I need to fuck a wheelchair person right now. I want to toss that wheelchair just fucking in fucking as she's landing back on it. She sits on my fucking dick. I'll be on the wheelchair and going like this, like on an angle, you know, one of those balance things. And you're like, maybe that'll be fun. Maybe you're right.
Seems like that could be happening.
Yeah, you fall and hit your neck. Ooh,
Yeah.
you know what? Never mind. I really turned that around quick. Jesus. I mean, maybe this person's right. Maybe fucking Tranny is fine. It's fun.
I have a couple holes we could just go fuck.
You have a few holes? Like where?
Just don't. They're just holes. We can just fuck them. Doesn't matter.
All right, I'll see y'all later.